Anatomies of Intelligence is an artistic research project led by me, Joana Chicau.
And me, Jonathan Chaim Reus.
Together we work to make connections between anatomic practices from the Enlightenment and investigations into the anatomy of datasets and machine learning. We use anatomy as a metaphor for understanding the practices of collection and knowledge making involved in contemporary AI systems. In particular, the way classification, comparison, and value decision are processed. As part of our research and making process, we started gathering our own dataset, which we make available in an online repository alongside the programming tools we develop. This same dataset is linked to our performance platform, we call it Networked Theater, which we use to live code a clustering algorithm. The concepts we explore are manifested through live performances, online browser-based performances, participatory workshops, and discussion formats.
Our performances take place in a unique hybrid audiovisual setting. It combines voice, composed sound, and visuals into a custom browser-based platform. We're very inspired by net art and live coding practices, and we try to combine these two in our network theater, which also contains a growing data set of the specimens we've collected as part of our research. The data set includes images and text, mostly, taken from AI research publications, but also taken from historical human anatomical research archives. So for example, we've taken a lot of our data set from Wikimedia and from the Wellcome collection. The process of actually collecting this data is extremely subjective, and what we choose to include in our data set is mostly based on intuition. This is very similar to the early European anatomists who make judgments of what to include and what not to include in a collection based on the illustrative power of each item or their beauty. These subjective choices become the basis for any kind of knowledge that might come out of the data set. So this process that we take also mirrors a sort of subjectivity and intimate human labor that's involved in creating any kind of data set or any kind of archive. However, rather than see this subjectivity as a thing to be avoided, we embrace it.
The dataset is stored in an online repository connected to our network theater. We see the dataset as a living research document into the history of anatomical science, as well as the anatomies of artificial intelligence algorithms and data stewardship practices. This virtual theater is then used to explore, through live-coded performative investigations of the dataset, how such a collection and hands-on demonstrative approach can confront the idealized bodies of artificial intelligence, in particular its fixed representational structures and opaque learning processes. So far, we have focused on a single algorithm, the unsupervised machine learning algorithm k.means, which is used widely across data science to make sense of large amounts of data, and primarily to infer possible categories from uncategorized data. In our performances, we stretch the execution of the algorithm from a number of microseconds into the human perceivable scale of a performance, slowing down, zooming in, and examining each element of this process as if dissecting an organism.
In our performances, we try to create an intimate atmosphere. So we ask visitors to relax, to investigate their own bodily sensations. The scene we try to create is inspired by the anatomical theater of the early Enlightenment and its qualities of performance and turning science into a kind of spectacle. Anatomies of Intelligence unfolds in a unique setting that we've created, where the two of us sit around a circular projection with our laptops, sending JavaScript commands to a remote server that relays those commands to our Network Theater platform. The Network Theater platform is then accessible globally, so anybody can dial in and join. But simultaneously, the theater platform also serves as the core audio and visual material that we use in the performance space live. On site, the audience is invited to lay down or sit on mats or pillows or special inflatable sculptures that we've created, and are led by our voices to investigate the algorithmic structures in space and time that are being organized through this unsupervised learning algorithm. Simultaneously, we ask them to think about the spatial structures of their own physiology in their bodies and relate the idea of space and distance in their bodies to ideas of space, distance, and dimensionality in machine learning algorithms. The performance itself progresses through the various stages of the algorithm, unfolding sonically and visually, and this algorithm actually becomes the backbone for the dramaturgy of the performance. Our voices appear and disappear throughout the performance, are warped and transformed, and deliver a kind of monologue that invites the audience to think and feel the narratives of the work. along with each step of the algorithm, which is made visible, audible, and felt.
It was a crucial aspect of early Enlightenment era anatomy, botany, and other efforts to make and classify the natural world. Our concept of aesthesis shapes a methodology for this project that looks into the sensory power of machine learning algorithms and their representations and sets of training data. Our aim is to engage with different models of performativity by which these aesthetics emerge, experimenting with different orientations for observation and knowing, and creating a specific vocabulary for our methods based in anatomical arrangement of parts and systems. We also connect our work to the subjectivities and relationalities in how such data corpus is identified, collected and transmitted through our juxtapositions of historical, archival, anatomical records with a deconstruction of knowledge-making ontologies.
Our handmade and process-based methodology highlights the artisanal human acts of craft inherent to the construction of bodies of knowledge.